Today, I want to talk about what to do if your credit score drops. So stay tuned.
My name is Jay, and welcome to Ask a Debt Collector, a subsidiary of Clear and Strategic. Now, I've been in the debt collection industry for over 15 years. I've done it all, from management to owning 2 debt collection companies. Over the last 10 years, I've been the go-to guy for friends and family for questions regarding debt and credit. Now I want to be that person for you. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. Let's go.
Seeing your credit score drop on any level can be very, very scary. A very scary thing, especially for those of you who have fixed your credit up, right? If you built your credit up and all of a sudden you see your credit score drop 50 to 100 points, you can be very nervous. It can be very scary with regards to that. But one of the things I tell people is do not fret, depending on the reason why your credit score may have dropped. All credit can be restored, so keep that in mind. But remember, your credit score dropping is not a death sentence. My score has gone up and down over the past 10 years for various reasons, but you've tuned into the right channel to figure out what to do if your score actually drops. Be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you guys for those of you who have liked and subscribed. Share with your friends and family as well. One of the first things you're going to want to do is pull a copy of your credit report. Now, I understand, obviously, if you've seen your score drop, for most of you guys, you probably have some type of free app with regards to credit monitoring, which is cool. Credit Karma, Experian, a lot of the free credit monitoring services you get with specific credit cards. Unfortunately, when your score drops, you may get the notification, but a lot of these free apps are not going to give you Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion all together, all 3 credit bureaus. So, for those of you who are out here who have credit monitoring, but you don't have all 3, one of the things, and you're not obviously paying for credit monitoring services, one of the credit monitoring services that I always recommend is Smart Credit, which shows right here. If you do use the link down below, it will obviously help our channel to grow. And be sure, if you do use the link before actually signing up, you see the Clear and Strategic sign here, and then you would just click here to sign up, answer a few questions with regards to verifying who you are, and boom, you have all 3 credit bureaus. Now, whether you're paying for a different credit monitoring service or you decide to use Smart Credit down below, it's very, very key that you get all 3 credit bureaus, because sometimes something may be shown on one of the credit bureaus, it's not shown on the other 3, or vice versa with regards to those credit reports. So I don't care where you're getting it from. Ultimately, if you do get it from Smart Credit, pay for it for Smart Credit. But if not, if you have another service that you're paying for, great. Look at all 3 credit reports. So now you've pulled all 3 of your credit reports and you notice the dip in your score. It's very key to figure out why, in fact, your credit score dropped, right? Sometimes it could drop 10 points. That can be caused from just applying for new credit. And other times it could drop 50 to 100 points. And other times it could drop even 200 points, depending on where you're starting at and what is causing your credit score to actually drop. Once you figured out what it was that actually changed your credit score and caused it to drop, next is to figure out what you can do to move it up. Now, in the examples that I used before, if it's because of a credit inquiry, the key thing here is understanding what is actually dropping your score. Now, with an inquiry, your credit score can drop 5 to 10 points. If it is a credit line that you were actually approved for, the only way your credit score is going to go back up is whatever that credit trade, that new credit line that's on your credit profile. As long as you pay it 2 to 3 months, your credit score will go up. Now, in the event that you apply for something and you weren't approved for it and you don't actually have an account with them showing on your trade line, you can obviously dispute that account. Down below, if you want help with getting rid of inquiries, there is a inquiry packet that I show you step by step on what to do as far as getting rid of those inquiries. And obviously, once the inquiries are removed, your scores will go back up. So 2 ways. Either if it's a trade line that you got approved for, understand that it's going to drop, but it will go back up within 2 to 3 months as long as you're making on-time payments. And then if it's a credit line that you actually didn't get approved for, down below is an inquiry removal kit. Sign up for that. Another reason why your credit score may drop, a lot of times, 90% of the people that I see are people who credit score was probably at like in the mid to high 700s, and they drop 100 points. A lot of times that's because of your credit utilization. Now, what do I mean when I state your credit utilization? On your credit profile, you have revolving accounts and you have installment accounts. Installment accounts, which are like car loans, personal loans, and so forth, where you actually get a lot of amount of money and then you have to pay it back. And once it's paid off, it's done. That doesn't count towards your credit utilization. What they count as your credit utilization are revolving accounts. That is credit cards, something that if you had a balance, you use some of that balance and you paid it off, then that's a revolving balance because you still have that balance to continuously use, and other things like lines of credit, right? Any type of loan or any type of amount of money that you may receive as a loan, but once you pay it off, you can reuse it. That's a revolving account. Now, with revolving accounts, you have credit utilization. And a lot of times when people max out their credit cards and those credit lines, then your utilization goes down. And if you're around 80 to 90% of credit card utilization, and what I mean by that is if you have $1,000 credit card and you're using $900 to $800 of that comes down to 90 to 80% of that credit utilization. And in that case, you have 160 points that you can actually lose by maxing out your credit cards. So it's very vital that you understand, and it can be a very quick fix. If your credit score dropped 50, 100 points, maybe 150 points because you maxed out those credit cards, once you pay those credit cards back, the credit utilization goes back down and your credit score will go back up. Another reason why your credit score can go down is because of a collection account. Now, the reality is a collection account is not just the installment and revolving trade lines that you have that you've gone negative and allowed to go to collections. There are other type of collection accounts that could be added on your credit profile that's not on your actual credit report to begin with. Things like your energy bill, things like your cell phone bill, unless obviously you're self-reporting them. Things like subscriptions and so forth that you have. Sometimes when not paying those accounts over a duration of time, that account can be sent to a collection agency to actually, collect the debt that you actually owe. And then at that point in time, it becomes a derogatory account. If you have derogatory accounts or collection or charge-off accounts on your credit profile, chances are you're going to need credit repair. Down below, I do have a 20-minute free consultation. I will speak to you with regards to where you're at, the derogatory accounts that are on your credit profile, and if in fact you actually need credit repair. And if that's the situation, that can happen, as well as that I do have a DIY credit repair packet down below, which is a do-it-yourself. Saves you a little bit of money, but understand something. If you don't have any knowledge with regards to the dispute process, you're going to end up paying for this, and it's going to make it a little difficult. Me, with the knowledge that I've had, it's taken me about a year to actually understand the full dispute process. This is not to scare anyone with regards to the disputing process, but it's just to let you know, if you do decide to go to the DIY, it may take you a little bit more time with regards to understanding how to send out the letters, send the dispute letters, and so forth with regards to that. But that is an option you have with regards to getting rid of those derogatory accounts, because one collection account has the ability to drop your credit score 100 to 200 points depending on how it's on there. And then the last other thing is judgments and liens that may be placed against you. And obviously there are ways to get those removed as well. If you have any questions about credit or debt, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. And as I always state, you be great.